A pleasant good evening and welcome to King's News Broom. I'm Stephen Compton. First, the headlines. Staggering the corruption allegation at Liberia Revenue Authority. LRA Commissioner General Double Jalad accused of receiving US 40,000 in monthly salaries and benefits over US 100,000 vehicle purchase under reporting of revenue and poor reconciliation of government's account. Liberia National Police announces new tariff fines, ones of US 5,000 fine or 3-year jail term for possession of fake driver's license. Also coming up in the news, Asset Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force attributes its silence regarding the matter involving the Clark Hope Foundation to issue of legal jurisdiction, vows never to bow to public pressure in executing its duties. And away from Liberia now, a Nigerian court has ordered the British government to pay US 27 million to each of the families of 21 coal miners killed in 1949 by the colonial administration in the southeast of the country. Details of these developments, the news bulletin, and the voices of the news makers are all packaged. We are taking a very short break to be right back. Welcome back. Let's now cross over to Sam Andrews for the news bulletin.
The Liberia Revenue Authority Commissioner General Double Jala has been accused of mass corruption, with leaked reports indicating 40,000 United States dollars in monthly salaries and benefits. The leaked reports also show the LRA board's involvement in salary disparities, misuse of public funds, underreporting of revenues, and poor reconciliation of government accounts with the Liberia Revenue Authority. On Thursday, members of the House of Representatives unanimously voted to cite Double Jala following a communication from Bond County Representative Marvin Cole, which outlined reported ongoing corruption at the Liberia Revenue Authority. Representative Cole also raised concerns over the alleged 40,000 monthly salaries and benefits, the LRA board's purchasing of a vehicle worth over 100,000 United States dollars, and questionable payments to consultants. Representative Marvin called for the call on the General Auditing Commission to conduct a comprehensive audit of Liberia Revenue Authority centering around payroll, review, accounts, assets, and other financial transactions. Meanwhile, the Liberia Revenue Authority Commissioner General is expected to appear before members of the House of Representatives next Thursday, along with officials of the General Auditing Commission. The Asset Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force has attributed its silence regarding the matter involving Clark Hope Foundation to issues of legal jurisdiction. According to a statement released Friday, ARET clarified that the case is currently before the court for judicial determination, and as such, the entity cannot publicly discuss the matter. The task force noted it has decision to refrain from commenting on the merits of the case or disclosing additional details due to the ongoing legal proceedings. The Asset Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force emphasized that its position does not seek nor hesitation or retreat, but rather reflects its respect for the rule of law and independence of the judiciary. The entity called on Liberians, including the public officials, to allow the court to handle the issue in accordance with legal procedures. The task force reaffirmed that it remains undeterred in executing its lawful mandate and is committed to promoting transparency and accountability in the management and use of public resources. The Liberia National Police has announced a new set of traffic-related fines and penalties aimed at enhancing road safety and ensuring stricter compliance with traffic regulations nationwide. LMP described the possession of a fraudulent gyros license as most serious offense under the revised measures. According to the LNP, offenders will face a fine up to 5,000 or imprisonment for up to 3 years. A 36-year-old man is feared dead following a drowning incident in a well in Ganta City, Nimba County. The victim, identified as Biff Franklin, reportedly entered the well to clean it in an effort to help provide safe drinking water for the community. Eyewitnesses say he was suddenly overcome by a strong odor believed to be linked to gasoline contamination inside the well. Reports further indicated that Franklin struggled to escape, prompting another man to attempt a rescue, noting that the would-be rescuer was also overwhelmed by the fumes. Community members later retrieved both men from the well in an unconscious state and rushed them to Ganta Methodist Hospital, where Franklin was pronounced dead by medical authorities. The Director General of Liberia Intellectual Property Office has called on online freelance reporters Union of Liberia to help address the growing issue of misinformation on social media platforms. She accused bloggers and some online social media influencers of being in the constant habit of publishing information that are not properly fact-checked, noting it has always misled the public. According to the LIPO boss, the spread of unverified information poses a serious threat to public trust and institutional credibility. She made a statement during an engagement with some media outlets ahead of the office of the Liberia Intellectual Property Office in Monrovia. The Liberia Agriculture Commodity Regulatory Authority has begun a land-scale Liberica coffee nursery project in Bong, Nimba, and Lofa counties. According to the authority, the activity is aimed at rebuilding the country's coffee industry. LACRA's Deputy Director General for Operations and Technical Services, Alpha Gongoli, reported significant progress has been made at all 3 sites. Speaking in an interview after touring the sites, Mr. Gongoli indicated the initiative will revive Liberia's coffee sector and position Liberica coffee as a premier export product on the global market. Remarking on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture, Deputy Minister for Technical Services Solomon Williams commended LACRA for the initiative and reaffirmed the ministry's full commitment to ensuring the project's success. The site brought together key development partners, including Seeds for Liberia, the European Union, the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, and officials of the Ministry of Agriculture. A health facility projected at 66,000 in Pakin, Diapo Chiefdom, Rivergy County, has remained incomplete for more than 15 years, leaving thousands of residents without access to basic health care services. The project was initiated in 2012 by the Community Forest Development Committee after residents identified the construction of a clinic as their top development priority. However, only a small post was constructed. Authorities at the time reportedly justified the decision by citing the existence of another healthcare facility located in a distant town. Bowman County Senator Edwin Snow has written the Senate to cite the Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Augustine Gafwan, over the minister's report of reversing harmonization at several government institutions. Recently, on Class Reloaded, a government-sponsored program, Minister Gafwan disclosed that harmonization has been reversed at the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the General Auditing Commission, as well as the judiciary and other institutions. The Bowman County Senator challenged the truthfulness of Finance Minister Gafwan claims, noting that inquiries pursuant to oversight responsibility are essential to safeguarding legislative prerogatives upholding the rule of law, and ensuring transparency and accountability in the management of public resources. Senator Snow argued that the announced harmonization reversal falls outside of the legislative action, which include repealing, amending, or modifying the existing act to establish the remuneration standardization of 2019. He added that such action, if proven, does not only represent a gross violation of the act that established the remuneration standardization of 2029, but a disregard to the statutory mandate and obligation of the legislature. Hundreds of workers of AFCONS, a subcontracted company of ArcelorMittal Liberia, have staged a mass protest against the company over what is believed to be bad labor practice. The protester heard chanting, "No benefit, no job," accusing AFCONS of carrying out bad labor practice against Liberians, failing to pay benefits and address low payment of workers. According to them, after working on a 1.4 billion project, which is nearing completion, the company have shown no signs of paying their benefits, including hazard benefits. They also call on Nimba County legislative caucus, local and international authorities to intervene in the ongoing bad labor practice against Liberians, noting that several years workers have experienced extreme bad labor practice at ArcelorMittal Liberia. The AFCON's workers' protest sparked fresh concerns about labor practice carried out by foreign companies against Liberians working with them and rope in addressing reported concession bad labor practices. Meanwhile, the Minister of Labor, Councillor Kopokra, has described the AFCON workers' ongoing strike as illegal. In a statement Thursday, the Labor Minister warned the aggrieved workers against protest and demand them to return to work and seek lawful channel to address their grievances. The AFCON workers on Thursday staged a strike at the company's premises, demanding an end of low payment, hardship allowances, and other benefits. Minister Crow, in a statement, said although the ministry expressed concern over the workers' action, such action must be presented in an orderly and lawful manner, particularly where claims require proper documentation and investigation. The Solidarity and Trust for a New Day has strongly condemned Satan mass demolition, which have caused hundreds of families to displacement, describing it as a legal setback. Addressing a press conference, STEM National Chairman Molba Molu called for the immediate end to what he termed forceful demolition, arguing that it threatens safety and rights of poor Liberians. Mr. Molu exerted escalating land grab crisis has already displaced tens of thousands of Liberians in Motorado County alone, with repeated humanitarian emergencies in communities, including Stoughton Creek, St. Old Road, Newport Street, Butcher Island, Broadville, and Congo Town. According to Molba Molu, the mass demolitions across several communities have left thousands of families homeless, traumatized, and without protection. He called on the government to halt all demolition, stating that post-war Liberia needs land reform that safeguards vulnerable communities, not the weaponization of codes and state power to dispose the people of their homes. The Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, in collaboration with the African Development Bank, has formally launched the Domestic Revenue Mobilization and Reform Implementation Project and the Debt and Ownership Transparency Technical Assistance Project in Monrovia. Speaking during the launch, Finance Minister Augustine Kouanga disclosed that the projects will help the Ministry of Mines and Energy with the necessary technological machines that will access the quantity of minerals exported and stop other leakages in the sector. According to him, the project will also assist the Liberia National Police with 28 vehicles, including ambulances and patrol jeeps. Minister Gaffon added that under the project, the Liberia Immigration Service, Liberia Revenue Authority, The judicial system and others will be computerized to accelerate cases, and the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission will also benefit from the project.
Sam Andrews and the News Bulletin is a regular feature of King's Newsroom. 45 minutes of news about Liberia and the rest of our One Globe. One of our top developments this evening, staggering corruption allegations at the Liberia Revenue Authority. LRA Commissioner General Double Jala accused of receiving US 40,000 in monthly salary and benefits over US 100,000 vehicle purchase on the reporting of revenues and poor reconciliation of government's account. We are taking a very short break. When we come back, we'll bring you voices of the newsmakers. Welcome back with this first development. Now, the Liberia Agricultural Commodity Regulatory Authority has begun a large-scale Liberia coffee nursery project in Bong, Nima, and Lofa counties. According to the authority, the activity is aimed at rebuilding the country's coffee industry. Lacrad's Deputy Director General for Operations and Technical Services, Afai Gongoli, reported that significant progress had been made at all three sites.
We selected this area, Nima, which is Ganta, Lopa, which is Wanyama. On the 26th of September, we came with the site selection along with party. Yeah, I have here 87,000 polythene bags that have been filled. If you can see the work, we took 7 days to do this work here. 7 days. We are talking about the coffee library. She spoke about bringing seeds, the butterfly leaf, to be able to transfer it into this polythene bags. We couldn't just sit and wait for that because this is how they call it. This is coffee season time. If care not taking the seeding she may have procured to have at her location may not make it to take care of this site, Nima, and that of Lofa. So what we did at Lacra end, we were able also to procure a coffee seed, a little over 307 kilo of coffee liberica. As we can see, as we start to work, you're going to see it started sprouting out. So a week from now, we will also be transferring from the pre-germinating box to the polythene bag.
Remarking on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture, Deputy Minister for Technical Services Solomon Willens commended LACRAT for the initiative and reaffirmed the ministry's full commitment to ensuring the project's success.
And what I'm seeing is welcoming. It's an exciting, welcoming news, not only for the agricultural sector, but for the development of our cocoa value chain. Our coffee value chain. Let me use this time to recognize the presence of the EU representatives and also that of Kerry. We thank you, EU, for all of your unflinching support that you have given during the years. That is making this more of a reality. But let me also recognize and pinpoint the central, most important role that Kerry has played. Kerry has played a central figure role in trying to promote and support Seed for Liberia initiative. Let me also state this. Seed for Liberia is a Liberia-owned initiative, and we have to take responsibility. We have to forge ahead. The development of the Liberica coffee value chain is so important for Liberia. It is a historical value chain. Oh, during the 60s, during the 1960s, you can imagine the proliferation and development of Liberica. Now, because of the war, we have come back to square one.
The Director General of the Liberia Intellectual Property, Garman Koba, has called on Online Freelance Reporters Union of Liberia to help address the growing issue of misinformation on social media platforms. She accused bloggers and online social media influencers of being in the constant habit of publishing information that are not properly fact-checked, noting that it always believes the public. According to the Lipo Bowles, the spread of unverified information poses a serious threat to the public trust and institutional credibility.
Most people just post on Facebook, what are you guys doing? Because some of the information they will post on Facebook at the end of the day, they will say, I'm sorry, there was a mistake. In my mind, as institution, you should be able to work with them so that the information putting out there, it will be authentic. It will not be information that people will be saying, oh, but the online people just get phone, that they can just go on Facebook and just post anything. I tell everybody, if I post on Facebook or I'm doing a program, I want to have a feedback. And this feedback should not only be the good side. You should give him a feedback that maybe that certain thing I didn't do, that I will be able to correct it. And when I'm doing the next one, that correction will be there. So as a leader, I believe in teamwork, I believe in results, and I believe in feedback. Our work we are doing, if you have a feedback, I'm pressing on it because it will help us to improve. You get in the public as doing your investigation, some of the feedback you share, it will also, we can be able to improve on it.
A health facility project valued at US 66,000 in Pokin Diopo Chieftain, River G County has remained incomplete for more than 14 years, leaving thousands of residents without access to basic healthcare services. The project was initiated in 2012 by the Community Forestry Development Committee after residents identified the construction of a clinic as the top priority. However, only a Summon Health Pod was constructed. Perryville Township Commissioner Nathaniel Cheward, speaking with reporters Friday, disclosed that Depot Jetu Chiefdom, along with other chiefdoms, collectively comprise more than 11 towns still lack functional health facility. He added that residents of those areas often transport sick individuals over long distances to access medical care.
And what I'm seeing is welcoming. It's an exciting, welcoming news, not only for the agricultural sector, but for the development.
Selected this area, Nima, which is Ganta, Lopa, which is Wanyama. On the 26th of September, we came with the site selection along with party. Yeah, I have here 87,000 polythene bags that have been filled. If you can see the work, we took 7 days to do this work here. 7 days. We are talking about the coffee library. She spoke about bringing seeds.
Here for the whole entire Diego. But if I tell you the 2 towns, the same way you are seeing people working down there today, that how our effort were able to do it, and that it get today.
The level today.
That it get the house to the level. Yes, we labor for the house here regarding being our own money. But we labor. Just imagine the time they started the house from 2012 up to present. It has not turned over to us because of the delay. Sometimes they forget about it and they go forget about them. But after a certain time, before they can come. As I just told you from the beginning, says in history from our forefather time, that the little thing you see here, that the example we ever seen.
Hmm.
That's the first down from our forefather time. So that's a problem. But we, the people of Diego, the kind of problem, the condition we are undergoing, when we explain some, you will say we're joking.
Okay.
So we praise God today that at least small we are seeing small green light.
I get go to hospital when you're pregnant.
Resident of Dearpo in Green, the River J County there, reacting to an abandoned health facility in their area. The Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, in collaboration with the African Development Bank, has formally launched the Domestic Revenue Mobilization and Refund Implementation Project and the Debt and Ownership Transparency Technical Assistance Project in Monrovia. Speaking during the launch, Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustin Gafuan disclosed that the project will help the Ministry of Mines and Energy with the necessary technological machines that will assess the quality of minerals exported and stop other leakages in the sector. According to Minister Gafuan, the project will also assist the Liberia National Police with 28 vehicles, including ambulances and patrol jeeps.
This project is going to help us to capacitate the Ministry of Mines and Energy with the necessary technological potentials to be able to assess minerals and to be able to reduce leakages and corruption in a very critical sector. This project is going to do many things. It's not only mines and energy. Liberia Revenue Authority is going to be empowered as we get prepared to transition, hopefully by next year, to a value-added tax. What that's going to do is going to help us raise more revenue. We are investing in systems, electronic billing machines. We're taking manual interventions. The more you do that, the more you enhance revenue growth. And this project, just looking at the details, I feel very excited. This project is going to capacitate the police with about 28 vehicles, including 15 pickups, SUVs, 2 ambulances, a lot of other equipment. Immigration is going to get some support. I don't want to go through all of this. The FIA is going to get support. We're going to assess the NACC its operation to conduct corruption rate assessment in the mining sector. So LACC's radar will be on our sector. We're going to equip the LACC, support the LACC to develop what we call a corruption assessment software and a lot of others. The judiciary, very important. So this project is going to help the judiciary. We're going to have deployed a one-court management application software, and that is going to help to expedite court processes and accelerate the issuance of judgments.
Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustin Gafuan there speaking. Hundreds of workers of ICOMS, a subcontractor company of ArcelorMittal Liberia, have staged a protest against the company over what is believed to be bad labor practices. The protester heard chanting, "No benefit, no work," have accused ICOMS of carrying out bad labor practices against Liberians, failed to pay benefit and address low payment of workers. According to them, after working on a $1.4 billion project, which is nearing completion, the company has shown no sign of paying their benefit, including hazard benefit.
you can see, we have AML security. They are around this hour. So if you can look at this project, this is a project that we are continuing to talk about. Brother Liberians, let us be real. This project is $1.4 billion project. How can a Liberians, your own country, you build this project and you don't have a benefit? That's why the company is trying to tell, AFCON is trying to tell us that we don't have a benefit. We are requesting for hazard benefit. We are requesting for honor pay. So if you look at it now, we are carrying it live. So this is a time we need our benefit. The project is coming to an end. So we need our benefit. Can you please come into our aid? We are calling on the national government to come into our aid for us to get our benefit. We need our benefit. Our benefit will help us because tomorrow our children, our unborn children, even the one that we are born, other than they know that we are working. But at the end, they will ask us a question. That is what you do with the money when you are working with AFCON. When you build the washing plant, what you do with the money. So we are crying for our benefit. We are calling on our superintendent, Madam Gono. We are calling on Senator Nyan D. to come to our aid. Even our Senator Samuel Koga to come to our aid. Even the affected district, we are calling on Nyan Flomo and Negegi to come to our aid. So, Marty Cody, we are also calling upon you to carry this video live, to share this video. So we are requesting for our benefit at this hour. Thank you very much.
We have an hour now past the news presentation. There's a reminder you're listening to the February 6, 2026 edition of King's News Broom. 45 minutes of news about Liberia. Next way, we're taking a very short break to be right back. Welcome back after the very short break, and thanks for being there. The Solidarity and Trust for a New Day has strongly condemned Satan mass demolition, which has caused hundreds of families to have been displaced, describing it as illegal setback for the affected people. Addressing the press conference, Thursday, 10 Chairman Moba Molu called for immediate end to what he termed forceful demolition, arguing that it threatens safety and the rights of the poor people.
The Solidarity and Trust for a New Day stand following its visit to the devastated remains of Satan, strongly condemns the illegal state-backed demolition exercise of private properties carried out by armed police officers acting on a corrupted court order. This heartless operation represents a dangerous and ongoing weaponization of the court system to serve the interests of the powerful, well-connected individuals at the expense of poor but legitimate landowners. STAND is alarmed by the escalating land grab crisis that has already displaced tens of thousands of citizens in Montserrat County alone, triggering repeated business humanitarian emergencies in communities such as Stockton Creek, St. Oro, Newport Street, Bourgeois Land, Brewerville, and Congo Town. These demolitions have left families homeless, traumatized, and without protection. Against this backdrop, STAND has received credible information from community-based investigators that the state-backed Bloody Bulldozer campaign may soon expand to target additional communities in Roto Town and the Pinsley area. We urgently call on the state to halt these actions immediately. Post-war Liberia needs land reform that safeguards vulnerable communities, not the weaponization of courts and state power to dispossess them of their legitimate homes and their legitimate properties.
The United Methodist Human Rights Monitor has called on Liberian government to assist victims of the Satan in single and 72nd demolition in order to reduce the suffering of the ordinary people who are already finding it difficult to make life. The Monitor's program manager, Jefferson Nard, described the action of the code as a violation of human rights and stressed the need for the government to relocate all demolitions victims.
We see our citizens, peaceful people, being evicted, being made displaced in our country. I see it as a gross human rights violation. It's a gross human rights violation what the government sits aside and it's not speaking, it's not acting to protect these people. But once an eviction will affect an individual or family or group of people to the extent of making a displace, then that is a violation. A tantamount to human rights violation. It's a gross violation of our people according to international laws, especially the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The government should look into this. President Bouaka, I think he needs to call the stakeholders. These people whose properties have been destroyed, they need to be compensated. They need to be provided shelter, housing, and what have you. It's not just mock talk. It's not just about talking. Look at what happened at 72nd, the AFL. People are claiming $500,000 worth of property and all these kinds of noise and help and what have you. When struggling Liberians are only hustling hand to mouth every day, things are tough. Joblessness, unemployment is so high, all-time high in our nation history. Then on top of this, with this kind of action taken against our people, this is brutal, it's evil, and I think it needs to be reversed, and the government needs to find all the resources whatsoever to ensure that our people are not slept outside. Look at the rain, and the people are in the cold, they're under the sun, the heat, the scorching heat, and then you just come overnight because one Lebanese man have been alleged want to build store or houses apartment to make millions of dollars and go develop foreign countries. Is that how we should live and treat our people? This is wrong, and we condemn these actions to the highest term, and we want for this government, President Bouaka and his administration, to act swiftly that will rescue our people. Since this government came under the mantra of rescue.
Onema County District 7 representative and political leader of the citizen movement for change has donated huge quantity of cement and steel to the FIMUSAD Hospital project in the township of Johnsonville in Monserrado County. Speaking at the donation ceremony, CMC political leader Representative Musa Bedetit also promised to pave the road leading to the hospital in order to give the community a feel lived.
Because of this hospital, which will benefit the community, I am saying to you that this road from here to the main road, CMC is about to pave the road. The reason for that, so that the people can say, but then the people coming in the community are good thing for the community. Then it will give you more respect. It will give you more honor. It will make your neighbor to feel that it's good to live with you. You got to bring benefit to your community. You got to make your community to change. And that's what we're talking about. That's the point I was making. When FEMUSA had a program, we made a pledge of $30,000. Today, we are pleased to present to you 1,500 steel rod and 1,500 bag of cement, which is a total of 36,000 United States dollars.
And now away from Liberia, a Nigerian court has ordered the British government to pay $27 million to each of the families of 21 coal miners killed in 1949 by colonial administration in the northwest of the country. The colonial police, made up of Nigerians and Europeans, shot dead workers striking for better condition. Those and more were injured in what the state-run news agency of Nigeria described as the most notorious acts of repression on British rule in Nigeria. Historians say the killing helped galvanize support for the anti-colonial movement that led to independence 11 years later in 1960. The UK government said it had not been formally notified of the judgment and so could not comment. The UK had not been represented in the proceeding, a spokesperson told the BBC. Feminists and rights groups have led a decades-long campaign for official acknowledgement and compensation. The ruling delivered by Justice Antonin Onovo in Inunku described the massacre as unlawful and extrajudicial violation of the right to life, NAB reports. On this note, this is how we come to the end of today's edition of the news program. But before we take leave of you, remind our top story we close the photo. Staggering corruption allegation at Liberia Revenue Authority. LRA Commissioner General Double Jalal accused of receiving US $40,000 monthly salaries and benefit over US $100,000 vehicle purchase on the reporting of revenue and poor reconciliation of government's account. Liberia National Police announces new tariff fines warns of US 5,000 fine or 3-year jail term for possession of fake driver's license. Asset recovery and property retrieval task force attributes its silence regarding the matter involving the Clark Hope Foundation to issue of legal jurisdiction, vows never to bow to public pressure in executing its duty. In away from Liberia, a Nigerian court has ordered the British government to pay US $27 million to each of the family of 21 coal miners killed in 1949 by the colonial administration in the southeast of the country. On this note, I'd like to say many thanks to our reporters and editors for making today's news presentation a success. Sam Andrews was here with the news bulletin. Marvin Vaz sat at control and ably coordinated the sound. I'm Stephen Compton. Thanks for listening and watching.